Gamer Braves?
Welcome guys, this is Juan Amiral from Gamer Braves, and today we'll be looking at Returnal, the amazing horror roguelite exclusively on the PS5. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you want more game reviews, and leave a comment if you want to get it read at the end of the next video. So, first thing you may be wondering, the heck's a roguelite? Short answer, roguelites are slightly more forgiving versions of roguelikes, which are games where you do a hard reset every time you die. Think something like Dark Souls, but if your weapons, equipment, and even maps are all completely random every time you respawn. So, nothing like Dark Souls. You play as Celine, who crash lands on the planet Atropos. Worse still, she finds the corpse of herself there, and every time she dies, time seems to reset to her crashing on the planet, but everything changes. Your game is going to consist of runs, as you navigate the new map ahead of you, collecting upgrades and keys and the like. These can be stat modifiers like augments, single-use consumables, ability-enhancing artifacts, 50-50 buffs like parasites, you get the deal. You can also find malignant loot boxes, which have a chance to hit you with a debuff for your greed. It really gives each run its own character, but I can understand the sour grapes of suddenly having your dash nerfed because you thought it was smart to open a purple chest. Thankfully, being a roguelite, some objects persist across runs. Upgrades like the teleporter or the sword all stay put, so you won't have to go running for those again every single time. It also helps stave off the dread when you realize you can actually make progress in the game even if you just died. So, I'm not usually a fan of roguelites, but Returnal definitely won me over. You have one of the best dodges I've ever seen, being able to get you through the bullet hell that comes out of enemies' mouths. The shooting is also pretty good, with different types of guns available for different playstyles. You'll always start your run with a pistol though, which is kind of a bummer since, well, the pistol kinda sucks. But I guess that's kinda the point, isn't it? There's no point starting you off as a good gun, because otherwise you won't let it go. Getting kills with the guns also unlocks permanent upgrades for them, such as a tighter spread for the shotgun. Weapons can have multiples of these upgrades, meaning you might want the slugshot upgrade instead of the narrow maw, which means more RNG fun. Guns also have alternate fires, which are all randomly generated. Some of these are better than others, such as the blast shell, which just deletes enemies, compared to the shock blast, which tickles them, I guess. Okay, so I know I rant a lot in these reviews, but hear me out. One of the things I hate the most about third-person shooters is that they always have you hiding behind knee-high walls and taking turns shooting back. Returnal is having none of this, removing the very notion of cover from its vocabulary. Sure, you're dodging out of the way or running behind terrain, but don't you dare get attached to any of it. There's also the game's adrenaline system, which rewards you for getting consecutive kills without getting hit. Sometimes you'll get enhanced melee attacks, as well as increased money payouts. You also have unlimited ammo, but reloading uses a timed overload system to make sure that you get extra rewards for hitting the button at the right time. Basically, the game wants you to play hyper-aggressive, and has given you all manner of reasons to not hide behind a rock like some sort of coward. It gets even better once you unlock the melee attacks because these things hurt. They've got wide range, do a ton of damage, and all for the trade-off that they can't be comboed. Seriously, there are enemies in this game that take forever to shoot down, but melt like butter once you bust out the knife. Better yet, you can dash into them with the sword and the attack will extend your dash a little too, turning into a missile of death. It's the best. You wouldn't believe it with all this footage of Celine running around shanking aliens, but Returnal has actually got a horror bent to it. It's pretty creepy. Using a mix of the dread that comes from Celine being trapped on this planet, the remnants of another race that appear to have been stuck here too, as well as this creepy astronaut that sometimes appears when you respawn. Easily, Returnal is a pretty creepy game. The story is also presented out of order, as you'll find corpses of Celine from different timelines, and they'll all have their own stories. It's really cool since it actually factors in the resetting of the roguelite genre in a more creative way, since the idea is you don't actually know how many times you've reset in the story outside of your own deaths. There's not really anything I can think of when it comes to gripes with this game. I mean, the biggest problem you'll find is that the game's an acquired taste. I can't tell you how many times I thought I had the perfect loadout, only to die to the boss anyways. Or worse, dying before the boss. Of course, that's not the game's fault, it's the rules of the genre. In fact, as a roguelite, Returnal is pretty forgiving, with lots of things that can persist across runs, such as Ether, which can straight up be used to generate a random item for your next run. It's just a matter of not giving up long enough to actually make progress. Returnal gets a lovely 9 out of 10 from us. It's exclusive to the PS5 and is some of the best use of the DualSense's haptics and adaptive triggers next to other games like Destruction All-Stars and Demon's Souls. On top of that, it's just a good game. The action feels well paced, and although it does force you to prioritize certain targets, you never feel like the game is just chucking enemies at you en masse. Mix that with the game's gorgeous look, lack of loading time and downright creepy atmosphere, and you've got one of the best PS5 exclusives out right now. This has been Watermill from Gamer Braves, and thanks to our friends at Sony for letting us try out this breathtaking game. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go reset my run. Today's comment was posted to our Near Replicant video and comes courtesy of one Twisted Gameplay. They write, "Not much info. I would have liked to see skill, character sheet, weapons, etc. It was more gameplay than review." First off, thanks for the comment. Secondly, I think the word you're looking for is book report. As a reviewer, it's not my job to go through every rock in the game and let you know how many times it skips on the lake. My job to tell you if it's good, which I did. It's a great game. If you wanted stat sheets, I'm sure there's a wiki out there for that. Secondly, it's freaking Nier, dude. Where would the fun be if I spoiled any of the twists? I expect anyone watching was planning to get the game, and it wouldn't do any good to spoil that stuff before the game was even out. Thanks again for the comment, and don't forget to leave your own comment if you want a chance to get it read out on a future video. See ya!